What's going on, collective? Welcome to By the Season 4 Tarot, aka Ruth is the Truth. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Everything you need to know about me is listed in the description box below. This is a no-face reading, a reading on the go. So, okay, collective. The channel message that I received for you was the agenda, okay? There's some sort of... I'm sorry that my nose is it sounds stuffy, guys, but I literally was having fellowship with God. So, if you don't wake up every morning and have fellowship with Him and the divine, there's no way that your entire day will be right. But anyway, it is a full moon energy going on, and so we're currently releasing a lot of things, stepping into a major power, okay, a major power. But the channel message that I received for you was agenda, the agenda. So this could be an agenda that somebody had planned against you, that the enemy had planned against you. And obviously the enemy, the devil, he uses people to bring forth these agendas. And but one thing about our God is that and the divine is that they have their own agenda for our life, right? It has already been written since we were born what our purpose was going to be. And so every scheme of the devil is to try to infiltrate that and stop that purpose. We all come embedded with a seed, a seed, and that seed is some sort of gift, some sort of talent. Not one person does not have it. The only difference is some come to that level of awareness through trials and tribulations. Some people develop that level of awareness, that fellowship with the divine, where they want to correct their ways, they want to correct their life. Others get themselves so wrapped up in cycles and soul ties that they can't break free from the illusions that have been in the contracts that they have signed, verbally, non-verbally. So they never come into that level of awareness of what their gifts truly are. So there is a plot that has been placed. I want to say a target. Somebody is a target, or has been for quite some time, a long time actually. I'm talking about years. Somebody has been attacking someone, has been trying to plot against someone, try to scheme them, or try to cause destruction in their life, some kind of way, shape, or form. Some sort of delay is also what I'm getting. And some of you may catch wind of this, you may notice this, because for those who have fellowship with the divine and God, and for those who have that really strong connection with spirit, you have that level of awareness, whether it comes in your dreams, whether it's a feeling, a thought, a smell. You have that level of awareness where the divine will let you know what's happening. And somebody has continued to think that, what I'm getting, collective, is that this person has, or whoever this is, because obviously the devil uses people, places, or things to try to execute that plan, that plot, that agenda. And somebody has run out of ideas. It's like there's nothing else, there's nothing else they can think of to get to you, or to get to you is really what I want to say, because the only way they can execute their plans is by getting to you. And it's become I'm hearing a headache. It's become a headache. It's become very frustrating for this individual or these individuals to try to execute their plot, their agenda against you. And it's almost like the more they try, the more that they grow weary, the more that they grow frustrated. And it's causing some aging. They're aging. Somebody looks older than they really are. And this could be energy work too, because energy work will do that to you, because you're absorbing all your energy to try to cause destruction and hurt in someone's life. So it's pulling from your life force, because that's the source where you're getting your energy, is your life force. And collective, I feel like whether some of you may be living such a good life where you don't even skip a beat. Like, you don't skip a beat. Like, you may feel like, oh, something's a little off here. And so you may just say your prayers. You may just, return everything back to wherever it's coming from. If it's coming from, whatever. And then you just go about your day. It's like you don't have time to entertain it. You just like, you know what? I already know that God got me. I already know that my spirit team, my divine, my ancestors, I already know that they're protecting me. And I've been doing a lot of reading and research on, because that's just my philosophical side. But I've been doing a lot of research on, the heavenly court, the spiritual court. And, it's a very real thing when it comes to the justice. When it comes to divine justice, it's a very real thing. Because let me tell you, you have ancestors that have created a contract with the devil because of a hiccup or something that they did, that they turned their back on the divine. They faltered in some kind of way, and so they created a contract. Back in the day, that's how they made deals. It was verbal deals. It was a verbal contract. But some of you, this could have been in blood, by the hands of your ancestors, committing some sort of crime. It could have been, being a thief. It could have been, anything. And it has placed a contract on your bloodline. And it is a real thing. It is a real thing that the devil has rights to claim it, because they did not abide by God's laws, by God's word. They faltered that. And so the devil has the right to claim your bloodline. That's why there's a thing called generational curses, because that's what it is. And it can go from generations until generations. And it's not until, and this could be, for instance, there's a bloodline that experiences poverty. It could be a bloodline that experiences cancer in their family. It could be a bloodline that experiences, bad contracts, bad deals, bad business deals. Whatever it is that is hereditary in your family, That is the contract. That is a generational curse that has been placed on your life, on your family's life. And it is because of your ancestors that it has taken place. And it won't be broken until you redeem that, until you break it. It's always one person in your family that will break that generational curse, that will break that contract, that iniquity that has been placed on your family. And this is why in the tarot, there is a justice card. And the justice card represents spiritual jail, spiritual law. Because it is a real thing. The spiritual court is a real thing. Judgment is a real thing. A karmic contract is a real thing. And a lot of people don't really understand this level of awareness and this level of wisdom. They just think, oh, I just have bad luck. Oh, my family's just, like everybody in my family, they just always go through the same thing. It's because someone in your bloodline, an ancestor, did this one thing and created that karmic contract, that generational curse, where the devil has the right to claim it. Do your research, collective. And it's something that has to be broken. Spiritually, it has to be broken. And it'll claim every generation until it is broken. And so that is the agenda. That is the agenda. And there's someone here, and even in today's society, people are now creating their own contracts and placing generational curses on their family, on their children's children's children. And not even realizing that that's what they're doing. They're sowing a seed of a generational curse because of their way of being and doing, that they cannot break that cycle. They cannot break it. And it's because envy and fear and hatred has been deeply rooted. The need to want to be better than someone else, or to try to overpower them or dominate them or try to be better than them, has become such a sickness in today's society. And like I mentioned, collective, there could be people that are in competition with you that have an agenda to try to destruct you, or have people disapprove of you, but it is causing a generational curse on their life, on their children's children's children, because they are making a deal with the devil. They are breaking spiritual laws in attacking you, in trying to disrupt the seed that has been planted in you since birth. They're trying to remove that. They're trying to take it from you. That birthright, that divine birthright that you have. And it could be causing mental illness. It could be causing someone to go through a mental breakdown. It could be causing someone's family to fall sick. Even themselves. It could be causing a lot. And they're not realizing that it is because of their deep-rooted agenda, their envy, their hate, their schemes, their plot, that is causing all this. They think it's just unfortunate events. Oh, it's just my life. It's what it's going to be. Not because they're not in that level of awareness that what they're doing to other people or by attacking you, it is because they have broken a spiritual law. And just like we have an earthly justice system, we have a major heavenly justice system. And it is by far greater than anything you could possibly think of. You will be held accountable. But not only will you be held accountable, your children will be held accountable for what you've done. Their children will be held accountable for what you've done. And so on and so forth. People don't realize that that's what happens. I'm getting something about stopping the madness. Stopping the madness. Because somebody has literally gone mad. You know, that was really a thing back in the, 1600s. I'm such a history buff, guys. I really love history. And, as of lately, I've really just been diving into a lot of things that, it's like one piece of information will always lead you to another piece of information. And then it's like, I'm one of those people, because, thanks to all my Sagittarius placements, but I'm one of those people that, like, once I get the liking to something, I will literally dive deep into it, like dive so deep into it that to the point where I have learned everything I wanted to learn, or I can't learn anymore. And then it's like, okay, I'll move on to the next thing. But it's like I soak myself up with so much information. Every day I'm learning something. I'm diving myself into books, research, and it could be a wide range of things, but usually it's philosophical. Usually it's about history. Because a lot of what happened in history is literally happening. A lot of what has been predicted in history is literally taking place. A lot of what Nostradamus predicted literally is what the tarot deck represents. The Tower, for instance, the Wheel of Fortune. The Tower, a lot of people, the research say that Nostradamus predicted that was the 9/11 event. And that is the Tower card. If you look at the Tower card, and it's a building that's in flames and people are falling from the building. So anyway, it's just a little bit of history there. There could be a lot of like I said, I just feel like there's just competition. There's, and, I feel like some of you may not even really be on, like, social media. Some of you really may be taking, like, a back seat to, being on social media. Maybe you're deciding to fast, from certain things. And, I encourage that. I encourage you, like, if you're somebody who's always on the phone, like, I encourage you to fast from your phone. Like, I barely, if I'm not talking to someone on my phone, which is barely, listen, if y'all saw my contact list, okay, it's like 0 to none. It's only the important people that I need to talk to. But, like, I don't respond to anything. I don't answer to anything unless it's important, unless it's about me providing some type of guidance or service. That's when I'll respond. But other than that, like, I don't, I'm not one to entertain, because a lot of people, they just want what's convenient. They want everything handed to them. I'm not in the business of hearing people complain. You know what I mean? And so you have to really protect your energy. There's certain things that I will share on social media, like when it comes to my kids, like some of their cool moments and stuff like that. But I am a very private person. I choose to be private because nobody needs to know what's happening in your life. For what? That just allows room for more envy and hate to be placed towards you. It's like you open the door Before social media, what did you have? You had face-to-face conversations. I'm interested in face-to-face conversations. If it's not spending time with my family, if it's not making money, then I'm literally meditating. I'm literally talking to God. I'm literally relaxing. I don't let anything stress me out. But it took a long time to get to this place. I want to say that it took a long time to get to this point in life. It took a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations. It took a lot of wrong connections. Okay. It took a lot of, me learning, basically learning through friendships, through family, through work, through, connections, scenarios. It took a lot for me to learn to get to this place of peace in my life. Because when you're an empath and when you're compassionate and when you're unconditional, you're always in a position to want to give even when you don't have it. Even when you don't have no more room. Even when you're broken inside, you still find some sort of reserve to give to others. And it took a lot for me to learn how to not give just because I felt bad for people. Because I'm always the one to want to help. And I've come to realize that you have to let people go through their own karma. And by you interfering or helping them out, okay, you get some of their burden. It's a burden that you choose to carry. And for what? Why do you choose to burden yourself? Because let me tell you, if you were in that position, would that person have helped you? Would that person extended? A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm here for you. You can reach out to me." Every time you put something out there that there's something wrong with you, everybody now wants to message you. "Oh, what's going on? What's wrong? I'm here for you. I'll help you." But where were you when I wasn't going through anything? You gotta be mindful of people who just want to know your life and want to know information. They're not solid. They're not loyal. Stop having empty connections, empty relationships that are not reciprocal. People who always have an agenda. Because people always have an agenda. Those people you never hear from, but all of a sudden want to reach out to you because they haven't heard from you and you're not posting nothing. They have an agenda. So this was your message, collective. I hope that this reading resonated with you. If it did, please feel free to reach out to me. I am open for personal readings, and I will talk to you guys soon.